get in the middle? Yeah, I get in the middle. People have been trying to get me in the middle for a long time, haven't they? Thomas? Yeah. All right, Bob. Thank you very much. Well, Bob, thank you very much for that very kind introduction, and thank you for your great leadership of Americans for the Arts. I want to also thank your Director of Government Relations, Eric Rome, for all of his good work here on the Hill. Tom Cochran, Mayor. You know, I love a mayor who knows how to cuss. Later. Members of Congress who are here, many of my friends. I started out here, I just told one of my staff members coming here, I was on the 5th floor of the Cannon Building when I came here 40 years ago. And they looked at the elevator and there was not a 5th floor button, and they said, "You must be mistaken. You're getting old, you forgot." I said, "No, there is a 5th floor, it's just not on the elevator," right? Some of my friends, Louise, you know that, right? So my members of Congress who are here, Yo-Yo Ma, thank you very much for your advocacy and for your performance. I was just coming over here, and my driver, Katie Berg, also plays the cello. And she said to tell you that you learned pretty well from her how to play the cello. But I must tell you that, interestingly enough, just a few weeks ago, I was on my way down to the State Department for John Kerry's swearing in as Secretary of State. And I was in my car, Katie was driving me, and Brahms' Concerto in E minor, and you were playing it. And we got down there, and I said, "He can wait just a few more minutes till I get to the end of this." It was wonderful, thank you. I'm sorry, I was returning to Washington last night, so Lil Buck, I didn't get to see the performance, but I heard about it. A dancer. I announced a couple of months ago that I was not seeking re-election after this term in Congress, after 40 years here, that I was going to pursue some other things while I'm still young. And someone asked me, "Well, what do you want to do when you get out of here?" And I said, "Well, you know, for 45 years of marriage, my wife has been trying to get me to know how to dance." I said, "I'm going to learn how to dance. I'm going to be Yorba the Greek when I get out. So, Lil, maybe you could help me out with a few moves or something, huh? Sometime, okay? Even though I have no rhythm whatsoever, you could help me out, maybe. You can fix me. I don't know about that." Matt Sorum, thank you also for your advocacy, for being here with Guns N' Roses. I must tell you that I don't know a lot of Guns N' Roses music, but boy, my kids grew up with it, I'll tell you that. So thank you very much, Matt, for your being here, and for all of you. Thank you. So again, thank you for this very generous award. Thank you for coming to Capitol Hill today to educate your senators and representatives on Arts Advocacy Day. With the cherry blossoms in bloom, you folks brightening the halls of Congress, Washington has never looked so good. My friends, I yield to no one in my support for rigorous academic standards and insisting that every student be given the opportunity to achieve at high levels. That's exactly why I also believe that the arts must have a secure and honored place in our school curricula. I've always admired the words of William Butler Yeats. He said that, quote, "Education should not be about filling up a pail. It should be about lighting a fire." Arts education does more than just cultivate creativity. It teaches skills of critical thinking. It gives our young people a more rounded and complex view of the world. Every child should have the opportunity to explore fields of knowledge that inspire and excite. That's why federal investment in arts education is not a luxury, it is a necessity. I will. One thing I've been advocating for a long time, and now as the chairman of the Education Committee on the Senate, is early education, early childhood education. I used to call it preschool. I don't use that word anymore, Louise. I say early education. It's because I learned a long time ago that education starts at birth. So there's no such thing as preschool, there's just early education. So I pushed for a long time for early education. I can't tell you how happy I was to sit in the House chamber for the President's State of the Union when he talked about having a big federal involvement in early education. So I thought that was great. I went up to one of his staff people after the speech, and Gene Sperling, he said to me, "How do you like that?" And I said, "I like it, but now let's see the budget." And tomorrow, the President will come out with his budget, and in his announcement, he will have a very strong statement and a big slug of money for the next 10 years in his budget for early education. Now that's okay. That's okay. I want you to know that comes to my committee. And one of the things I'm going to insist on is that the parameters we set up for these matching grants to go to states must be that when the states provide early education, that early education must include the arts and music and a well-rounded education. I always remember what my father said to me when I was a young kid a long time ago, a long time ago. One day he said, "What did you do in school today?" I was a little kid. He said, "Well, what did the teacher tell you today? Did she teach you what to believe or how to think?" We want our young kids to start being taught how to think, not what to believe. And how to think involves a complex view of society, how people interact, how you see things. You know, not everything is a mathematical deduction. Some things are much more complex than that. I just spent some time with my grandkids over the Easter break, and listening to Daisy, my granddaughter, who is just about to turn 5, and listening to her describe things and how she sees things. I said, "Well, I didn't see it that way." But rather than correcting her to say, "No, this is what it is," just listen to them and see how they describe what they're looking at. It's amazing. And kids need to have that encouragement. They don't need to look at things the way I look at things. They need to start interpreting for themselves. That's how we grow. That's how we develop. That's how society progresses. So I'm very encouraged by this early education, and I just want you to know that I intend to push very hard for arts education. We know that we know from research also it does more than just stimulate creativity. It improves students' ability to focus, be more productive at all their schoolwork. It increases self-confidence, social skills. So I'm here as the chair of the HELP Committee to tell you in no uncertain terms, I will continue to push for this investment. The bipartisan ESEA bill, Elementary and Secondary Education bill, that we reported out of committee in the last Congress, which didn't make it, included a priority for the well-rounded education program. That bill died in the last Congress. We're now bringing up the Elementary and Secondary Education Act again in our committee. We'll report it out by summer, and we will have that same well-rounded education provision in this new elementary and secondary education bill. So let me just thank you for being here today. I can't tell you the impact that your visits on the Hill, you're going to offices and talking to them about arts education. I just can't tell you how critical it is. So thank you for informing and helping to shape our legislation. Again, it's with great pleasure that I accept this 2013 National Public Leadership in the Arts Award. It's a true honor. I thank you very much. Have a great day.